It's 2 a.m. Your eyes are burning, the textbook is a blur, and you're mainlining coffee like it's life support. The exam is in 6 hours. You've been cramming for 10, highlighting, rereading, feeling oddly confident as you stumble into the test. And then, blank. The concepts you reviewed evaporate. The facts are fuzzy. You survived the night. The knowledge didn't. It's not your effort, intelligence, or willpower. It's the strategy. Your brain hates cramming. The secret to remembering more isn't to study more. It's to study smarter by strategically forgetting. Today on Brainful Bites, the spacing effect, the single most reliable learning principle in cognitive science. We'll decode why forget to learn works and give you a step-by-step system to schedule learning for durable, long-term memory. Let's set the record straight. Cramming feels productive, but it builds memory on a foundation of sand. The alternative is the spacing effect. When the same total study time is split across multiple, separated sessions, retention over time skyrockets compared to massing it in one block. This isn't a trendy hack. It's one of the oldest, most replicated effects in psychology. Back in 1885, Hermann Ebbinghaus memorized nonsense syllables and charted how fast he forgot them, the famous forgetting curve. He also discovered the antidote. Spaced reviews flatten that curve. Each well-timed revisit makes the memory more resilient. A century of research has hammered this home. A 2006 meta-analysis by Sapir and colleagues pulled 317 experiments and found large, reliable benefits of distributed practice across materials and tasks. If learning had laws, spacing would be one of them. So why does spacing work? Why is letting yourself forget a little bit the key to remembering a lot? 3 mechanisms do most of the heavy lifting. Study phase retrieval. When you revisit information after a gap, you have to pull it from memory. That effortful recall is the workout that strengthens the neural trace. It's not exposure, it's reconstruction. Retrieval practice research by Karpicki and Rodiger shows that repeated successful retrieval dramatically boosts long-term retention compared to rereading. This is the forget-to-learn engine. Slight forgetting makes retrieval effortful, and effort is what cements learning. Deficient processing. With back-to-back repetitions, your brain coasts. The material is still floating in short-term memory, so attention drops. It feels easy, but it's shallow. Spacing forces deeper processing because you can't lean on lingering short-term activation. You must rebuild the signal. Encoding variability. Each session occurs in a slightly different context: time of day, mood, surroundings. Those differences attach extra retrieval cues to the memory, giving you more routes back later. More on-ramps means fewer retrieval dead ends. There's a twist. Spacing often feels harder. You'll try to recall, and it won't come instantly. That uncomfortable tug is a desirable difficulty. Cramming produces fluency illusions. I recognize this, so I must know it. But recognition in the moment is not durable knowledge. Spacing feels worth and performs better. Now for the million-dollar question. How long should you wait between sessions? Cepeda et al., 2008, ran a large web-based study with over 1,300 participants and mapped a temporal ridgeline. The best gap depends on how long you want to remember. If your test is in a week, a short gap around a day or two tends to work. If your target is a year, the optimal gap is much longer, on the order of a few weeks, roughly 5 to 10% of the total time until the test. As the retention goal grows, the absolute gap grows, but the gap becomes a smaller fraction of the total time. Barak and family drove this home in a 9-year vocabulary study. 56-day gaps produced far superior multi-year retention than 14-day gaps, even though the shorter gaps felt easier early on. Long-term wins beat short-term comfort.
A couple of practical caveats. Gaps can be too long. If you repeatedly fail to retrieve, you're not strengthening the trace, you're guessing. Retrieval should be effortful, not impossible. If you're blanking, shorten the gap. Don't obsess over perfect patterns. When total spacing is held constant, expanding intervals, 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, and equal intervals, every 3 days, perform similarly on average. Absolute spacing and successful retrieval matter more than the exact shape. Ready to turn this into a system you can use today? Here's your Brainful Bites spacing toolkit. Backward plan from your deadline using a simple first review equals 10 to 20% rule. Pick your target date, exam, presentation, certification, onboarding checkpoint. Schedule your first review roughly 10 to 20% of the way to that date. Then widen the gaps while you're still mostly succeeding at recall. For a presentation next Friday, 7 days away, learn today, day 0, review on day 1, then day 3 to 4, final run on day 6 to 7. For a quiz in 2 weeks, 14 days, day 0 learn, day 2 to 3 review, day 7 to 8, day 13 to 14 quick check. For an exam in 1 month, 30 days, day 0, day 3 to 6, day 10 to 14, day 21 to 24, day 30 quick check. For a certification in 6 months, day 0, day 14 to 21, day 45 to 60, day 90 to 120, day 170 to 180 polish. For year-long retention, day 0, day 20 to 40, day 80 to 100, day 200 to 280, day 360 refresh. Rule of thumb, not law. If recall is too easy, widen. If recall routinely fails, narrow. Make every session a test, not a reread. Start cold. Before looking at notes, retrieve flashcards, practice problems, or a 1-page brain dump from memory. Then check yourself. Only restudy what you missed and immediately try to retrieve those misses again. For concepts, explain them out loud as if teaching a friend. For procedures, walk through the steps from memory. For frameworks, sketch from scratch. Build a dead simple spacing system, no apps required. The Leitner box method with 5 buckets works wonders. Box 1, today. Box 2, plus 3 days. Box 3, plus 1 week. Box 4, plus 2 weeks. Box 5, plus 1 month. New items start in box 1. Each day, test box 1. Correct? Move to the next box. Incorrect? Drop back to box 1. On calendar days when a box is due, test it. Promote on success, demote on failure. You've just built an adaptive, spaced system from scratch. Prefer digital? Any flashcard app with adjustable intervals can mirror this. Keep intervals conservative at first, lengthen only after consistent success. Use spacing for skills, not just facts. Replace 1 marathon practice with 3 to 5 shorter run-throughs spread across days. For presentations, early passes with notes, later passes, no notes, standing, timing yourself. Include at least 1 high-effort, no-notes rehearsal late in the schedule. For coding or procedures, day-separated reps of the same pattern from memory.
In late sessions, do a blank editor build. No templates, no peeking, narrate your reasoning. Keep it sustainable, cap the daily load, and calibrate. Time box daily review to a realistic window, for example, 20 to 30 minutes for flashcards or 45 to 60 minutes for mixed tasks. Limit new items per day so reviews don't snowball. For vocab or terms, 15 to 25 new items is plenty. Use a simple calibration loop. If a session feels trivial and you're acing everything, widen the next interval. If you're blanking on most items, shorten the next interval and add a quick seam day retry. Aim for effortful but successful recall most of the time. Protect the habit. A short, consistent daily review beats occasional marathon catch-up. Engineer context variability on purpose. Change one context variable each session, location, time of day, or cues. This adds retrieval routes. Practice under test-like conditions at least once. Quiet room, time limit, no notes. For names or pitches, simulate the environment you'll actually face. Sleep between sessions whenever possible. Sleep consolidates memories and makes the next spaced retrieval more potent. Your common questions, rapid fire. What if I'm late and must cram? Cram if you must for the immediate test, then convert to spacing immediately after. A quick spaced review within a day or two will rescue more of that crammed knowledge from disappearing. Expanding or equal intervals. Both work. Pick whichever you'll actually follow. Consistency beats elegance. How long should gaps be if I don't have a deadline? Start with a small gap, 1 to 3 days, then double until recall starts to feel shaky but successful. Park items at the largest gap you can sustain with mostly successful retrieval. Let's land this plane. Your brain isn't a hard drive you can fill by dragging and dropping highlights. It's more like a muscle. You challenge it, rest, come back slightly after you've forgotten, and rebuild stronger. Cramming is trying to curl a ridiculous weight once for 10 hours. Spacing is smart training, manageable reps, strategic rests, progressive overload. Use forgetting to learn. Lean into desirable difficulty. And stop confusing feels fluent right now with will be there when I need it. Your challenge this week. Pick one thing you need to learn. Class topic, client pitch, vocabulary set, workflow. Write your deadline. Schedule your first 2 reviews using the 10 to 20% rule.
Example deadline in 20 days, first review on day 2 to 4, second on day 7 to 10. Put them on your calendar right now. What are you learning? And when is your first review? Drop your plan in the comments. Make it public, make it real. And your plan might inspire someone else to ditch cramming for good. If this episode upgraded your learning, share it with a classmate or coworker. And tell us which brain bugs or decision traps you want decoded next. Until next time, keep your brain hungry and your learning spaced.